So the UDV's run about 8 or 9 forums from around the state, so across all the 3 Victorian dairy regions, and they've been well attended and well supported. People are interested in the detail of the events that have been put on. The FTA story has created a lot of interest amongst the dairy community, and people understand that it's important or think that it's important but aren't really sure of the details. So what they've been doing is chasing some information to help them understand why it is important and what it might mean for their farm.
So the industry's taken the lead from Andrew Robb on the 23rd of April this year, pursuing a New Zealand Plus deal. So what that means for the industry is comprehensive tariff removal by 2019. Most of the meetings we've had between 30 and 40 people, really good energy in the room, some really good questions, people really appreciative of engagement and just finding out a bit about what Dairy Australia and UDV have been doing.
So the responsibility of Dairy Australia at these forums is really to explain what the China Free Trade Agreement actually means from a dairy industry perspective, and essentially what's on the table in terms of improved market access opportunities for our industry and how that resonates through to farm gate returns. Really the role of Dairy Australia in these whole free trade agreements is to really play a conduit role between industry and the government, to assist our government in terms of the negotiators to make sure that they're well armed with the right information, the technical information to inform their negotiating positions when it comes to the dairy industry. Essentially there is a strong political avenue which is required as well, and that's not the role of Dairy Australia, that's the role where our national and state representative bodies come into play. Organisations like the Australian Dairy Farmers and the UDV and other state organisations, as well as our dairy processors. I think it's a critical role that farmers play on the ground in terms of these free trade agreements. At times it can be hard to understand and to really get a clear message that this actually means a great deal to farmers on the ground and can resonate through to improve farm gate returns.
Trade's everything for our business. We are suppliers to Fonterra, and we know that our milk generally almost 100% of it will be processed and end up in the export market. So when we have visitors to our farm, I proudly say we're earning dollars for Australia, we're exporters. It's very important that the industry puts a unified face forward with this sort of negotiation. There are less and less dairy farmers. We need to stand together and put forward a common view about where we want to be as an industry in relation to our trading partners and the conditions that we trade under.
Farmers are very interested in what happens with what we're doing with their milk post the farm gate. So very interested in what's happening with the export markets, what Fonterra is doing in the global markets and how that's impacting them. The farmers we deal with every day, they're pretty busy. They're passionate about these things, but they're really busy on their own businesses and being dairy farmers. So to have a real coordinated approach, a real cohesive industry that's telling the same story is really important to see, and I don't think we'd be able to achieve the right result without that kind of effort.
So it's important that the farming community is informed through forums such as this, so they have the information going forward as to why the free trade agreement with China is important and other free trade agreements is important, and why the dairy industry and the trade of the dairy industry on the world market is important to the different regions.